What is going on, fellow alchemists? Welcome to Astrology. I'm honestly going to try and keep this video as fluid and as straight to the point, and I'll try and limit the amount of editing that I do as I get to the point of this video shortly after this. Just want to say thank you to all the new subscribers. Thank you so much for subscribing. I really do appreciate the support. It really shows that at least somehow, some way, what I'm saying, what I'm doing is helping you in some way construct your own keys to open up your own doors, and that has been the objective of Astrology, this YouTube channel, from the get-go. So let's get into what the whole point of this video is, and it's just literally 2 cents off the top of my head. It's my little input into a situation that I continuously am being confronted with online and in life and in general. You know, this issue of the feminine energy and its resurfacing into the public arena, how it's come back into the public arena, and all the problems we are seeing, the masculine or patriarchy, if you want to put it that way, the approach that is having towards the feminine resurgence, this feminine revealment, as if it's somehow completely vanished before and it wasn't always there, when we all know that it's always been there. It's just been so repressed and so completely segregated and contained by forceful nature of the patriarch and masculine energy in the wrong way, because masculine energy has been completely corrupted in the way it's supposed to be expressed, and it's supposed to be addressed and used in our global and universal aspects of our relationships to one another. So that being said, you know, I always find that it really makes me laugh when I see so many of these men going their own way kind of movements, and all these men who feel that they're on the right solar path, you know, and that they're not going to chase women, they're not going to go after the feminine energy, and they're going to go and live in a cave somewhere, live on a couple of cans and leave it at that, and everything they have is theirs and they won't share it. So before I get to the actual point of this video, I must say that, you know, look, men, guys, this channel is predominantly watched by women, and a lot of women, thank you for the support, because of course the occult and esoteric arts, the primordial traditions, the feminine energy is the energetic gateway to the secrets of the occult. Women hold the secrets of the occult. Women are the priestesses, the mystics who sit at the doorway of the occult, and they are the ones who allow and usher in the very nature of the inquisitive masculine energy, so that there can be the unlocked nature of the third dynamic element, the third dynamic principle, or in alchemical terms, the alchemical child, where something completely different is created from the two expressions and the two principles. So with this sudden revival of this, what the patriarch or the masculine energy is supposedly labeling this completely rebellious and scary and terrifying type of feminine energy, you know, with women who are completely okay with moving from one relationship to another, sometimes still in the same relationship. You know, we have to understand that we are currently in the Aquarius age. We just passed through the Piscean age, which was ruled over by Mars in particular, because Mars is all about ceremonial devotion in esoteric astrology, and Mars rules over that 6th ray. And that's why we saw so much warfare, because Mars is all about devoting oneself to a cause, devoting oneself to concept and going to fight for it. Now, that's why Mars is also known as one of the main malefics in Vedic astrology, because Mars always goes through, even when there's another way around. So the whole thing is that we've moved now into Aquarius, the Aquarian age. It's all about technology. It's all about humanitarianism. It's all about balancing out the scales. And why do I mention that? Because, of course, it's a fixed air sign, and it is in very direct relationship to Libra. Libra and Aquarius tell a very similar story. Libra is about balancing out the equation, whereas Aquarius is making sure that equation sticks. And so that's why we see the nature of, in tropical astrology, the esoteric ruler of Uranus basically ruling over Aquarius, you know, because Aquarius is all about the rebellion and change that needs to happen, you know, to keep things moving and to keep things from forming into stagnation, to keep society from forming into this perplexing nature of concrete concretized and lead-like foundation that Saturn brings into that whole area of Aquarius, because of course Saturn rules over Aquarius. But at the same time, this is a different Saturn from Saturn in Capricorn. This is a more daily Saturn. This is the day house of Saturn, and this is where Saturn finds the ability to help people really move away from the possessiveness of the masculine energy, the possessiveness of the feminine energy, and finally find a more fluid expression. So the reason I mentioned that is because that's what we're seeing, or that's what I believe we are seeing with the feminine energy. The feminine energy has always been there. The feminine energy has been, I mean, in the Atlantean period, if you are into theosophy, the feminine energy was ruled over by the serpents. The serpents are not bad in this case. The serpents represent the undulating cosmic energy in esoteric astrology, which is represented by yin energy in our natal birth chart, or in a cosmic astrology when we're dealing with the more ethereal and more of the esoteric aspects of the primordial traditions and primordial astrology as a whole. So women were the matriarchy, women were the priestesses who held all the secrets. Women performed a lot of the sacred rituals and a lot of the sacred acts of the sacred prostitute, in which they allowed men to become more in tune with their own kundalini. And instead of being dominated by the woman's kundalini, there was a lot of people, in particular the sacred prostitutes. Mary Magdalene in particular is a very good story here, in how she helped Jesus find dominance over his own kundalini, so that his kundalini didn't dance to other women's, or dance and get stimulated by women who otherwise would perhaps coil around them like they do in the nakshatra of Ashlisha. Now, I am jumping all over the place here, but what I want to say is that in this very short video is that really we should just get over the aspect of trying to control the feminine nature. I really think it's one of the primal requirements that we need in order to push ourselves into the next couple of generations that are to come. And I believe that it's a wonderful thing to see the feminine nature finally revealing itself as a whole, finally being unapologetic, because it doesn't need to apologize. The masculine nature needs to realize what true masculinity is, what the true solar path is. And that is to be stoic, that is to allow things to develop and only react to them in a more precise and conscious and very, very, very balanced way. Because that is what we are all about. We are only here to support one another. There is no other aspect outside of us other than the whole support and system within us all. So I hope that is a very short take on my opinions on what is currently going on with the feminine, with this warfare that's happening between the masculine and feminine energies that we see currently present in the world today, and all of the concepts and concerns that are being brought up through the issues that are developing through all of this conflict. I think it's a wonderful thing that we are actually talking about it, and I think that there's, you know, even though one side is trying to talk about it on one side and justify the actions of that side, I believe that we're at least starting the conversation, and the conversation will one day, when the whole crisis really comes to a head, we will one day see that we need to rely on one another, and there is no other aspect than the third dynamic element which rules us all. We are all part of the third dynamic element and expressions of it. And because of the continuous cycle, because of the nature of our universe relying on itself to exist, we will finally one day realize that it's all about who we are and not where we're coming from.